That's right, it is the time once more. The once more times that it's Final Fantasy XIII. Oh, I need the controller on ideally before that starts, I think. I don't know. Some games it makes a difference. Of course, if the control is not going to be a... Place control, don't be a dick. Oh, it's being a dick. Okay, that's fine. Also, I need to pause the video, so... All in all, everything's gone a bit tits up, isn't it, there? So I think what we'll do is just start again. Just start it from scratch there. So open that. And get the control to actually turn on if you wouldn't mind. Yeah? Yeah, you're alright now. Good boy. And now we start the game afresh and we forget the last 2 minutes ever happened. Marvellous. If we can accomplish that, we can accomplish anything. Oh, we can skip that. Skip that to get to this. The intro screen. Splash is the traditional word, but I couldn't remember it. What, are you fucking serious? I told you to turn the bloody thing off. Oh, piss and chips. Piss and chips. Turn the video. There we go. I don't need the preview. Now is the point in time where we find out it's going to go horribly wrong. No, we've still got controller support. We've still got a loaded file. Marvellous. It's not gone horribly wrong. The Sanctum plans to transport its Lassie prisoners to Eden, then carry out their execution before a public audience. Brigadier General Rains, the cavalry commander, suggests that by showing the deaths of the host monsters, the Sanctum Valsy hope to quell rising panic and reaffirm their dominion over society. Lightning and the others can't stand by and let their companions be sacrificed to ensure Valsy's subjugation. Deciding the amount of rescue, they plan to use Psychom's craft to slip aboard the Palamecia, flagship of the Sanctum Skyfleet. It's slowed down. It wasn't as intense this time. And prison vessel for the captured Lassie. Galenth Disley or Disley, might be Disley. We'll find out, I'm sure, at some point. Primarch and representative of the people is also on board. His presence almost certainly signifies a trap. But what other choice do they have? They don't have any choice at all. Now, the slightly annoying thing, of course, is, yeah, all of the button prompts seem to have now disappeared, which is good. Do I want to... It does make it easier if I actually have the buttons shown, but we can probably get away with not having buttons. I don't think there's anything particularly secret down here, unless you just want to look... at the craft. Don't know. Oh, I must admit, I thought that was a mistake there, but there is yeah, there we go. There's a man sort of polishing his craft, as they often do. Nice big ship over there. Well, I guess we probably ought to win then. Hey Snow, how you doing? Talk to Snow.
Rescuing Saz and Vanille is our top priority.
Well, it's going to be very difficult to rescue Zaz. He did kill himself by shooting his brains out. So that's inconvenient.
Listen to me talking strategy.
I know, it's weird and disturbing and I don't like it. So if you could stop talking strategy, Snow, I think we'd all be happier. Your dad's alright? Yeah, he was alright chap, wasn't he?
I kinda wish I could talk to him, but I guess I have to make my own choices now.
That's nice. So ultimately, tying him up was an entirely unnecessary plan.
I finally found Vanille again, and I'll be damned if I'm just gonna stand around while she's in trouble.
Alright, I'll find you a chair if you'd prefer to sit around while she's in trouble. Jokes. There are 1,000 of them. I will, don't you worry. Let's just pop over here, just double check we've not missed anything, but there are, as I've said sort of before, to a certain extent, there are some benefits to the game being relatively linear. Do you know what, it is going to bug me slightly, so I think we will do a restart just to get those command prompts back. It will make life a little bit easier, I think. It's one of those weird ones, assuming it doesn't, of course, fuck up because I used the save file, but let's try exiting out of that, and then we'll just try reloading it, see what happens. It's difficult to know, but there you go. Yeah, I don't think I want to mess with any settings, because if you start pissing around with settings that work, you tend to find they suddenly decide to no longer work. And that's an issue. Yes, indeed. Right, with a bit of luck, now the controller is on. There's no going to be flitting between windows, so I would hope that when we get in... Well, I suppose we do have key prompts. They're the wrong ones, but we do have them. Fuck's sake. Oh no, there's an... I suppose arguably that could have been an A anyway. Let's just see. I don't... There was like a settings... On-screen buttons, yeah, control. Okay. Is there not... I'm surprised there's not more sort of graphical bits, but anyway. With a bit of luck, we've now got the appropriate prompts, and if we don't, we've got keyboard shortcuts. I don't know. Yes, as I say, there's... To a certain extent, sometimes there is quite an advantage for a lot of these being linear, because it means I don't think I've missed anything by just continuing with the story.
Take those SciComm guys apart.
And we're supposed to take on all of them? I think the whole division's on board. I don't care how many lackeys they've got. Bring them on. Vanille's in there.
I'm sure she's fine. Vanille's tougher than I could ever be.
Hope, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm terrified. But I'll be okay. Because I have you. And this guy.
Can we replace Hope with the handsome chap at the back
We're all
there?
in this mess.
Because he's kind of cool. Now, granted, we'd have to have words about the crotch armour, but the rest of him is pretty cool looking.
What do you mean, this guy?
Best buds now. Wasn't 5 minutes ago, it was, you killed my mother! Now it's all banter, lads. He's a big creature. Or big... I think it's meant to be a ship creature. A creature ship. Oh, here he is. As I say, I think it's Daisley, but we'll see.
This crisis threatens the entirety of Cocoon, my child. You agree that standing at the fore is a leader's charge?
Wholeheartedly.
It also affords a splendid view of the impending execution.
I do get the impression he might not be human. As is so often the way.
What's the holdup?
Stand by. Verifying identification code.
You let me land this bird or I'll crash her into your ass.
I think everybody would prefer that not to happen. Oh, I think we commented on how beautiful that big ship looks.
Code verified. You're free to dock.
Why, thank you.
About damn time.
I appreciate not having to ram it up your ass.
All clear. Welcome aboard.
Oh, yeah, I think this is like... It's a bit like the elastic they use on... I say elastic, I think it's a bit more complicated than elastic, but a bit like the elastic they use on airship carriers, or... Yeah, no, not airship carriers. Airplane carriers, I suppose, yeah. That's what they call them, aren't they? They carry airplanes. But it slows the ship down, which is quite good. Although I'm surprised they didn't show a bit more of the landing there. But I suppose maybe age-old 3D animation principle. If it don't need to be shown, don't show it. Because it means you don't have to animate it.
Code red, repeat. Code red.
No, I was hoping for a code heliotrope.
This is not a drill. Code red.
No, that's a drill.
Let's
So,
tear
it's
'em
an
up.
old Red Dwarf joke for you there.
We're here for Vanille and Saz. Stay focused.
Well, we're here for Vanille. As we all know, Zaz is dead. He shot himself in the head. We saw it last week. Who am I? I am Lightning. Who are you? You are unknown. You are all unknown. Okay, let us technique our Libra. And then I believe we are going to have to, yeah, technique Libra the second for the breeder. And then hopeity hope. Oh, that's a Delta attack that I didn't really want. Cool. Solidarity, that's going to be a bit more useful at this point. I am, however, going to have to readjust. At least now I definitely know I have to readjust these things. But it would have perhaps been better to have known that before I entered the battle. A little bit awkward at this point. Bully is actually quite a good one. Keeps your buffs and debuffs on point, whilst also allowing you to continue a certain level of... I see. I'm, yeah, currently a Ravager, which, yes, that's probably going to be for the best. Because Fang... I think Fang... I mean, I'm fairly confident in saying everybody can become everything at some point. But I don't remember... I really don't remember ever particularly using Fang as a Ravager. I think it's because by the time Fang becomes able to be a Ravager, I feel like it's this weird sort of situation where you end up with... She's just not... Yeah. If I'm going to have Ravagers, I'm going to have someone like Hope, who's high magic power, and someone like Zaz, who's high magic power. I'm not going to have Fang, who is not. So, yeah, I don't think I did much in the way of Ravager play with Fang.
Kid,
But
so where to?
Right up there.
yeah, I'm not... I suppose maybe they will reveal it in the not too distant future, but... I think the idea was we were going to go in as a stealth mission. And then we just sort of didn't. Right, so let us have here... What I think we want is you as a... Oh, wait, no, you're going to have to be a Ravager, because, as discussed, you cannot be one. So yes, diversity is probably the best heal available, followed by solidarity is not a terrible choice. Delta attack... I can see that working nicely. Commando, Synergist Saboteur is probably all I need with her sabotage stuff. Honestly, don't think we'd need. So I'm wondering if maybe it'd be worthwhile having Decimation as an option at least. But as usual, it's probably going to be mostly these two. These are your bread and butter slots, and they very much are hugely useful. Right, let's save the game. Might as well. They've offered it to me. Never say no to a save. It's always worth something to save. I'm never going to get a back attack on them, so I'm just going to go ploughing straight into their faces. That's what I do. Yes, indeed. Oh, hello. Infiltrator A needs... Well, Infiltrator A or B, technically, but as soon as I said A, I figured I might as well stick to it. Relentless Assault, so good. We do have all weaknesses present and accounted for. Yes, nice one. Come on. I need you to kill these guys. Must admit, the old infiltrators, these Psychon fellas that we're facing off against now, they're not bad. They are holding on to a health bar and doing a fair chunk of change, which is alarming because that means I might stop winning the game, and that's something I don't really want to have happen. Oops, we want Relentless Assault ready. Auto chain indeed. Slide. Oh, but he's guarding? Guarding? Cheeky little bugger. Don't have to guard me. I had that problem in Yakuza Like a Track, and it was like, how dare you? How dare you guard against my attacks? My attacks should be doing full damage at all times. Thank you very much. Shouldn't be allowed to mitigate the damage from my attacks. Of course, I should be allowed to mitigate all damage you cause me, but you're not allowed to do the same trick. It's rude. So we've got a little button there, I think. I think ultimately it is push the little button, because there is no other options. Ooh, an elevator. Is this a full-blown elevator section game? I suspect not, because it's too small. You can tell the battle arenas, because of the way this game now sort of... It's taken that sort of modern... It is modern games, it's not surprising. But it's taken that sort of idea of not necessarily... It does have a sort of whoosh into a battle mode. Transition, that's the word I'm looking for. I've built enough of them, you just thought I'd recognise the word, but nonetheless. The old transition, you do get the transition into battle, but you don't necessarily have this sort of completely separate arena type idea that the old ones used to. I mean, probably owing to the technology at the time, I think, but you'd have to transfer to a whole new level, whereas these ones you're not really supposed to be considering it to be a whole new level. So you can sort of tell, like in this corridor, I don't think anybody would attack me because it's too thin for a battle. So you do start understanding where the battles are going to take place, because the moment you get a nice expansive area that's like a circular arena looking thing, yeah, they're definitely going to be throwing enemies at me here.
See that?
Oh, I remember this bit. I don't know why specifically, but I do. This bit does, I suppose, arguably, it's quite a bold, quite a bold section of gameplay. Having you sort of, oops, not there. Having you navigate the sort of blowing underneath of an airship. So I think, yeah, that's going to lead me to just a treasure chest, which pleases me greatly. Now, okay, I didn't think they were moving around, but they are moving around, so maybe just... No, he turned around. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. Why you gotta be a douchebag? Nobody knows. So you are a deck drone. You do wonder slightly. Like, I don't wonder... Not in the slightest bit do I wonder why they've got deck drones. Maintenance, cleaning, anything like that. You'd want a deck drone just to be sort of maintaining the deck. I do question slightly, though, why their deck drones are programmed with attack functionalities. Like, what? I don't know. I suppose arguably, yeah, multi-purpose, it's always a good thing. I do enjoy a good multi-tool myself. So maybe it is just simply, you know, they went to the manufacturer and the manufacturer said, I've included the battle mode. And they looked at him and went, what the fuck? They're supposed to clean the deck. It's all they're just supposed to maintain the ship. And he went, you know, they had flailing arms. I figured, why not stick in a battle mode? And they went, yeah, fair enough. Fair dues, we'll take it. We'll take it off your hands. Oh, Millerite, marvellous. But, oh, I mean, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I'll force you to look at it. Oh, look at it down there as well. Whoa, whoa. Okay, that was a little less look at it. I think it's just the distance. They look peculiar drifting around, but it's beautiful. Look at it all. Except the boy. Let's not look at the boy. Is snow around here? We've got Hope and Fang, but apparently snow go. It's a snow go. Oh yeah, of course he's not actually in the party. But yeah, truly beautiful. We'll ignore the line in the cloud there. we'll classify that as my computer and not their background. But the rest of it, if we just slowly pan, I've got a surprisingly good pan going on. I don't want to break the pan. Set everyone in the kitchen. Can I actually? I don't think I can. No. Must mean I can't. Oh, bow team, that's how you do it. And no, I can't. So yeah, Snow is destined to sit out the battles. Which is almost a shame, because I must admit, I wouldn't mind a little more snowy action. Ooh, the swell of the orchestra. Ah, darn. I thought I had a back attack again, but I did not. Now, is that a recognisable jetpack boy? No, that is a new jetpack boy, and it's a Dragoon. Not recognisable Final Fantasy lingo there. I think the drones might be the better target to wipe out first, so that's basically what we're going to do. Just remember, usually, anything I say I'm going to do, I don't do, because fuck doing things, it's a waste of time. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, by showing them diversity. That is definitely how. Oh, whoa! Oh no, he's around here somewhere. Oh, alright, he's off to the left. I just saw his gun fire in the distance there. I can't deny, I thought the Dragoon had fucked off. I wondered if the Dragoon had some kind of like self-destruct move or something, which would have been very peculiar for him to have, but nonetheless, it would have explained why he disappeared. But it was just visual. Oh, Fang's dying. Nobody minds. Oh, right, so you don't have a weakness, so we're just doing a widespread nowadays. That's when you spread all over the counter and the toast. That's what a widespread would be. There are all of the jokes. None of the jokes you want, but to have all of them anyway. Just reach into the bag of many jokes and realise that there is no bag of many jokes. I am simply a sufficient joke myself that, you know, I have all these jokes. Yay. Anyway, let's cross this bridge. You do slightly question, because, like... And away she goes. Completely ignoring all of the enemies that we're going to fight, but I do slightly wonder, like, the architecture here... I suppose you can sort of understand some of the gangplanks, but the little sort of... I suppose arguably, if you've got... But some of these, also, they don't really connect to anything. They're just sort of there. They exist. Which, you know, makes for an interesting enough dungeon, but it does also make you go, is this logical for even like a futuristic fantasy zone? Is it logical to just have a load of random gangplanks floating just below your ship's wings? And I do fear the answer is no. No, it's not. It's just fire the fire, please. Fire the fire. Fire the fire. Fire. All of the fire. Be careful, because they do bob and weave and do quite a substantial amount of damage as they sort of bash through your very core and your very body. Come on. Oh, we don't need We don't need mid-deck anymore. We can put that to the side. Put mid-deck to the side and... oh, tornado kick could be brutal. I wonder if I'm too late to provoke them. Yes, I was. But I suppose arguably Fang can take the edge off of everybody else whilst Hope heals, so I think it was a tolerable decision to switch to that as a precautionary measure. And now hopefully it is a little bit unfair and unfortunate, and I suppose it's difficult to know whether that was a deliberate thing. There is like a timed event in the code that says at this point in time deck drones will use tornado kick, and the fact that there's 3 deck drones, all of them have gone tornado kick, or whether it was just pure fluke that every single one of them went, it's tornado kick time. I don't know. I have no idea how they would have programmed the AI in this game, so impossible to truly know without. Well, I suppose you might get away with looking it up, but a lot of these sort of coding bits are often sort of relatively sort of highly kept secrets. There's sort of the precise details more so than the overarching languages and stuff. The precise nature of how they've rigged up their enemies to act is probably relatively closely guarded secret. Well, I can't imagine nowadays they might have let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, okay. A lot of these gangplanks are for the little ships. That's quite clever. Also, what's quite clever is the fact that that ship didn't exist. Now it does. Now we can jump on it. Have we jumped on it? Yes, we have jumped on it. Oh, right. I see. Oh, we're going up. I thought we were just going plain old straight across, but... oh, there's a dragoon over here. Come on, mate. That's it. Come on. Go on. No. Down a bit. There you go. There you go. Must admit, didn't envisage having to guide him to attack me, but nonetheless, that it was the requirement. It's because I like to fight everything. I know that can be, you know, I mean, it's probably tedious as fuck, really, but when I say it, I prefer to make sure I have faced off against everything so that I can feel confident in the fact that I've, you know, got enough experience to carry on playing the game is the general gist of the idea. Open the treasure chest, yes, why not? I mean, it's the whole reason I came over here, so if I didn't open the treasure chest, it would have been slightly piss-taking, wouldn't it? Don't really need to go down there, because there's nothing there, but... oh, 2 more dragoons. Come on, lads. There you go. No, there you go. Stay on the same plane as your enemy until you've actually engaged them. At this point, probably wise to go up. I then couldn't attack you. No, I shouldn't really be telling you how to beat me, but what can I say? I like to give these people a fair chance, you know. Give them a fair go. Still got to rip the shit out of them and beat them down beyond comparison. Beat them into an early grave. But if I do so whilst telling them how they should be working, you know, if I'm telling them how they should be doing things in order to beat me, I feel better about kicking the shit out of them. Because I've at least given them a chance. Sometimes being given a chance is all someone needs. That got a little too real, didn't it there? But nobody knows why, I'm sure. Nobody's there, nobody cares. So there you go, off we pop. We'll try and get the rear attack, but these guys are literally about to say it as they did it. These guys are tricksy little assholes, especially one of them was facing now. I thought I might have enough leeway with his cone of vision that it wouldn't have triggered, but unfortunately it was not to be. Oh well. We know we can beat them straight on because we have done in the past. It just takes a little bit longer. Although these are actually a surprisingly reasonable stagger meter, which is quite nice to see. Sometimes it's like, oh, this stagger meter is going to take me years. Whereas this one's actually quite tolerable. 113% doesn't take a lot of time. I mean, what is it? Fang is the first question. I'm not just going to eat it because you tell me to eat it. I do need some details. If it's cake, delicious. If it's salad, not quite so much. So, again, we do have to establish what it is. Fang. Oh, not quite. But this time we should stagger, and that should allow me to get a couple of good shots in, which means this is over. Yes, indeed it is. Another 423 points. I suppose arguably we do need more points per sort of string, I suppose. I don't know. Points per level up, I guess. I'm gonna try and go after this guy at the back. No, never mind. I thought maybe I could just cheekily slide in at the back there, but no, very much couldn't. This is going to be a bit of a concern. This feels like one of those ones where I might have to approach this level, this fight a second time. I know, you barely starting, you already think you've failed this battle. Yes, it's a little more troublesome than I gave it credit for, owing to the fact that okay, I've just beaten one of those deck drones. There's still 3 left, which meant there was 4 in the first place. I had not realised or appreciated that. Yes, so even more so now. This game is this fight is going to be tricky. So tricky, but I was literally about to say, as long as they don't tornado kick me to oblivion. And no, luckily, I suppose maybe because he's staggered, he can't physically do the tornado kick. But I think provoke and medicine is going to probably be a worthy solution to my current predicament. Just get lightning up to high health and then pop back to relentless assault to try and smite the 3rd deck drone is what I'm after now. This is definitely not going to be sort of a high star battle. I think you were supposed to put more effort into getting the back attack, but oh well. Oh, let's just get a cheeky quick fire there. Marvellous. Sometimes it's worthwhile just doing that Y, cut it off early, just to get it done. Really, it's, you don't want the enemy. An enemy on sort of 1 health is still an enemy that can chip away at your health bar, which is not what you want. No, not what you want at all. At this point, yeah, a little bit of medic, I think, is gonna be wise. Oh, so wise. We've been quite slow anyway, so it's not like playing it safe and making sure my health bars are high is going to cause me too much issue. Blimey, we very much went right up her skirt there, didn't we? I didn't necessarily ask for that, but I didn't necessarily complain. I just didn't specifically ask for it. Right, so I think once again, are we going to get a ship enter? Oh, I think a ship has already entered. Okay. I didn't see it. Fucking idiot. Oh, well, never mind.
Watch where you're going.
No, I will not. You watch where you're going. You bumped into me just as much as I bumped into you, so don't you give me sass. I am a person who doth not appreciate your sass. No, sir. There doesn't seem to be much point to this battle, but I'll still try and approach it. Hopefully. No, he saw me. I got confused. Unfortunately, their front and their back looks alarmingly similar sometimes, and especially when they can just sort of turn their heads around rather than the entire body, so it gets a bit sort of like, it was very much a case of I've got him, and very swiftly afterwards realizing, oh no, that's not the backside. They do actually have, are they true? Oh no, they're just legs. It's just the colour scheme. the colour scheme and the way they use the tornado kick. Although they might be rotating. But arguably we can get a little bit of an alternate look. But yeah, they're sort of... they're drill-esque. I wouldn't necessarily say they were full-on drills, but they are sort of drill-adjacent, perhaps. They are drilling Jason. Jason! Drilling... No. No, mate. No, you best not be drilling Jason, because that's your son. Nobody needs that in their life. Right, I don't think... Usually, if they put a battle off to one side that you could avoid, on most occasions, that turns out to be a treasure chest. But no, there's absolutely bugger all. Yeah, I think this is going to be a hard battle, but there was no getting in front of them because of the jetpacks slamming around the sides. What we'll hope to do is, I mean, basically standard fare, really. Try and take down the deck drones as quickly as possible. Try and keep our health bars as high as we can. I think, oh dear, this is... yeah, my computer's definitely dying on its arse, isn't it? Which is going to be problematic, but there you go. Ah, yeah, I mean, it's not going to make much difference in the long run, is it? If this computer dies, it's not going to cause much problems, and as most of what I do on a computer is entirely pointless. Yes, we'll continue going after the deck drones, back to diversity, go to Medic. It's the first time Final Fantasy struggled quite so much, though, isn't it? That was to show you that the whole system's dying. Thank you very much. Yes, deck drones, good. I do rather need that diversity back on. Especially he's tornado kicking the wrong target, which could be... you know, she took it like a champ. Didn't make as much difference as I thought it was going to. Well, that's not so bad. Caught him in the stagger. Just let our health... okay, there is that issue. I was going to say I'll just let our health bars get up a little bit, but then I lost most of lightnings, so... it's one of those ones where we have to keep it up at the time. Right, on to the Dragoons. Get some relentless assault back in the house. Make them slightly quicker. Although, having said that, no, we now need diversity again. I think the unfortunate thing with two Dragoons and their sort of massive missile launchers, they can shred a health bar very quickly. Luckily, I think this one should die fairly swiftly now he's staggered, yeah. Once you get the stagger on them, they go down like little bitches. This stagger meter, interestingly enough, this stagger meter feels... well, maybe it does just feel like it's harder to do, because technically it's less than the deck drones. Which is weird. I genuinely thought it feels like the Dragoons are harder to stagger, despite the obvious evidence to the contrary. Very much the evidence put forth before the court is that deck drones had 113% and those dudes had 110. Very much not the case of affairs, it felt like. No, sorry. Hello, Vanille. How are you doing? I don't know if we've actually made it there. Yeah, he's dead there. Remember? He died. I mean, he looks surprisingly like he's standing up. Yeah. Yep, no, apparently he stood up. That's quite impressive. I don't think he shot himself in the head after all, which they're about to reveal. Couldn't do it to the Chocobo chick, could you, really? Take away that chick's nest. Like, no. It's just unreasonable. But there you go, he changed his mind at the last second. It's a hell of a dark tale. The tale of Zaz. Quite good that they're exploring deep, dark topics. Topics? Yes. Yeah, but remember, Zaz, the reason you can't kill Vanilla is because you're a decent human being.
Freeze! Take him!
should be proud. Your son's a hero. The boy who saved Cocoon. We'll erect a memorial in Eden and put his crystal on display.
A memorial? He's a little boy!
As the son of a pulseless sea, he would have lived in shame and misery. Isn't it better he be treated with reverence as a monument to sacrifice?
It's a hell of a skill.
The next time your eyes open will be the last.
Why do those guys have batteries for knees? Plugs even. Would have been funnier if I'd gotten the right word. But there you go.
I'm pathetic.
I know the feeling, mate.
That's my line. I'm the one who lied to everyone.
Forget it. You can't change what's done.
But if I just told the truth...
Now. I've been thinking. You woke up from being a crystal once. Well, that means Dodge will wake up one day too, right? What was it like? I mean, how did it happen? You were done with your focus, right?
I was chosen. I was made into a l'Cie to fight against Cocoon. It happened back on Grand Pulse, hundreds of years ago. We finished our focus, and we fell into a long crystal sleep.
Day one. The origin of everything. You do have to slightly question, like, why does the crystal remove your clothes and then puts the clothes back on you? That's just weird. You'd have thought when you turn into a crystal, you just turn into a crystal and the crystal encases everything that you are. Not, I'm a crystal, I'm going to take all your clothes off. But then don't worry, when I release you, I'm going to put all your clothes back on again. But while you're inside me, I have no clothes. It's just a weird system. It's a weird idea, but I suppose arguably it gave the developers exactly what they wanted there, wasn't it? Which is a short amount of titillation where you went, "Oh, she's nude."
It was too much, so I lied. I played dumb, said I'd lost my memory. I wanted to escape my fate as a l'Cie. And ever since then, I've been running away from it.
Nah, but you can't run no more, Vanille. The road has run out. Because you're in the sky, I suppose, don't you believe that?
Block our way, you die!
I think they're
Trying
gonna...
to get him angry?
I'm trying to give them the chance to run away.
I thought maybe they'd run. There's been enough blood spilled.
You thought they'd run? Let me refresh your memory. Those soldiers think they're protecting Cocoon from l'Cie. The Fal'Cie have them all brainwashed.
Fal'Cie, I have had it. We cannot let this go on.
Attention all crew, code green. Repeat, code green. Security forces stand by. Hostile forces on board, code green.
I feel like that's more... why would that now be a code green? I don't think that makes sense, Game. I feel like surely you'd have had a, like... code green when we arrived, and then you'd have stepped it up into like code red. You wouldn't have gone, it's code red, it's code red. Well, now it's code green because they're closer and more dangerous than ever. Let's have a little crystarium, assuming it holds steady. Saw it stuttering again. Oh, I see. It's completely died. Sweet. It's doing that a lot, isn't it? Did that yesterday, the last time as well, didn't it? That's good. That's good. Well, once again, this bit's just for the recording. Just seeing if. Wondering if it's the full internet. No, it appears. No, it is not. Marvellous. So why do you now keep disconnecting? Considering the fact that the internet hasn't died on its arse. But it does probably mean we're going to have issues with the video starting up again, which I don't really want. Oh, it is back. It is back. That's something. But it's unstable again, so that's good. Don't really know what's happened to the internet to cause it to be shit. It's good. Anyway, we were crystariuming. Yay for the crystarium. At the moment you are ravaging, so I mean you are always ravaging, I think, but you are now actually casting some magic, so you might as well focus on that temporarily. It won't be too long before we start, refocusing on her appropriate commando role. But as Fang is taking that duty upon herself, the boy can be focusing on healing for now. Until he's done with healing, then he'll focus on synergy, and then he'll focus on ravaging. Fang, you probably best just to focus on commando, I think, for now. It's likely the best option. It's mostly the song in the background. I wasn't convinced. I was definitely doing a song from the game. I just wasn't 100% convinced it was the right song. You might as well just focus on your Sentinel stuff. There is no... I mean, he's not in combat at the moment, so I don't need to care that much about what he's up to in terms of his crystarium, but eventually I will want him to do specific things. I shall access that, save it up, once again, just to make sure I've saved all of those doings, yeah. And, I mean, they're basically looking at me, so there's no way of getting around that. They were prepped and readied. I mean, I suppose it's quite pleasant, the fact that they were perfectly happy to just let you sort of do your doings whilst they stood there and... Go on. Do you need the save point? Are you doing your crystarium? That's fine. Whoa. Yeah, new strategy. Don't die. In fairness, that's the old strategy as well. That's the be-all and end-all strategy. The strategy of don't die, please. Don't die. Mana Drive Fog? Okay. Whoa, yeah, hope you have got your... I think maybe a little bit of solidarity. Get that Sentinel in place. So that with a bit of luck... Cura? Okay, I'm sorry. Who the fuck dares use Cura? Well, that means you have to die. Okay, the infiltrators have Cura. Good afternoon to you as well, Mr. Blueboosh. How are you this afternoon? Are you doing well? I think we can probably go back to Relentless Assault now. Because there's one less dude means less damaging bounds. I think we can get away with not being sentineled up. Here in spirit, but also in physical agony. Just laying down new flooring. Yes, I saw. And I did think to myself when I saw that floor that do you know the secret behind not having to put as much effort into laying a floor? Bigger tiles. I don't know if you ever considered that, but if you'd put like bigger tiles, if you were going for a floor, get yourself some bigger tiles. It'd be a bit easier to lay them down. Wouldn't have to lay as many. That's the key thing there. But you seem to have gone for really like super tiny tiles. Am I? I see. I take it you wanted massive tiles, and the old husband said no. Whoops! I pushed the wrong button. He demanded small tiles. But yeah, out of interest, and you don't necessarily have to specify, but which room are you doing up, or what sort of, you know, as I say, you don't necessarily have to specify precisely what you do in the room, but in a, oh, it's the living room. All right. Where we live. Yes, yes. Oh, a huntress. What in the world does a huntress do? I don't think I've scanned a huntress. I mean, scantily clad, but also still got plugs on these. Plugs on their knees. Scan the huntress. Whoa, 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 whoa! Fuck that! Solidarity, please. Clearly need to deal with some infiltrators. I think need to be dealt with first. I think the fact that we've got the cure, which is problematic to say the least. There's some blitzing. We'll deal with them. Blitz is an interesting choice because it is doing sort of damage to the pair of them since they're quite so close, but it's doing less damage than attacks would perhaps do, but it's doing it to two of them. So I did, in fairness, I have just defeated two guys in one stroke, so I think Blitz was the right decision. So well done, Auto Battle. Auto Battle wins again. Ugh. You and your automatic battling game. How dare you take away my agency. Right. You think you're fancy with your buffs? I think you'll find I have Dispel. And my Dispel is going to remove all of your fancy little buffs, while I get my own buffs. The plan is supreme, apart from the whole boy dying thing. It would be very beneficial if the boy was to not die. Good lad. He did not die. Back to Relentless Assault. Forever changing the plan. Oh yes, indeed. Yeah. And how did Sabretooth go? Have you managed to get him back into a more desirable place? I saw you were, the last time I saw you, you were dry brushing his, were you? Dry brushing his little rock at the bottom. I assume it's a rock, anyway. My assumption is it's some kind of rock, but yes, last time I saw it, you were dry brushing his rock. Which is not an actual rock, he's just got a small Dwayne Johnson next to him. Which sounds even worse, doesn't it? Last time I saw you, you were dry brushing a small Johnson. Bit unfair to Sabretooth, isn't it? I don't know the size of his Johnson. He might have a massive Johnson. How dare you stop guarding, arsehole. How dare you go, whoops, once again with the wrong button push there. I say wrong button push. Technically it's not a wrong button per se, it's just my finger seems to be flexing in a weird fashion. Maybe it was excited at the thought of Sabretooth Johnson. I don't know, but nonetheless, it's for some reason just constantly flexing in an awkward fashion that keeps triggering the button. That's not hugely important. I'm not entirely sure what Mana Drive Fog is doing for me. There's a part of me thinking that it would be the blind ailment. I don't recall there being blind in this, mixed with the fact that I don't see any. There's no obvious things. So it's either constantly missing, which is absolutely plausible, or it's not really doing anything to me, which makes me think it's a bit of a waste of a move. But fine. Carrying on slicing. Good. You are now out of doing, so we'll do a little bit of healing, just in case. Hold it together. Oh, I see. You've now got the anti-vigilance ailment available to you, I assume, Fang. Or someone does, because Stephanie is there. Not entirely sure how it got there, but technically it doesn't matter. As long as it's there, it's fine. Only 4 stars. It's because I'm doing it very slowly. Slowly and methodically. I've got a feeling, I've got a really nasty feeling this is going to turn out to be a dead end. Oh shit, no, I've got a nasty feeling this turns out to be the right way. Oh fuck that. No, oh no, it can't be the right way. Oh, wait, what? Short-field landing deck? What am I doing on the short-field landing deck? I never asked to be on the short-field landing deck. I very much didn't want to be on the short-field landing deck. I want to be on the long-field landing deck. That's not true. I don't know where I want to be, but it's definitely not here. But we'll wipe these guys out. Maybe they thought they were going to get lucky. Yeah, Frank, mate, Frank. They're not supposed to come to the short field. The short, whatever the fuck this place was. So I'll tell you what, we'll go on quote-unquote guard here, and that means they won't slaughter us like the pigs they've been slaughtering throughout the rest of the ship. It's a really good idea. And then Frank turns around and goes, Dave. What is it, Frank? They're here. Ah, shit. Now we're going to die. Which, yeah. There you go. There's a little end scene. I know you really felt you were there with Frank and Dave. And you do wonder who the other guy is. Nobody talks about the other guy, though. Nobody likes the other guy. He's just sort of there. Frank and Dave, they're a good old team. A good old boys. But the other guy... No. Nobody's interested in the other guy. So yeah, absolutely pointless. Spectacular. That's right. Everything is glorious. Anyway, this time we now know we want to go this way. It's plausible. If they're... Oh no, they're just back and facing this way. Well, we'll just go ploughing through this group of enemies again. It's not going to work. Having a bit of extra crystal power. Yes, we want to take down the raiders first. I think they'll be the easiest to tackle. I feel like if we tackle the side guys and then focus our sort of bullying onto the infiltrator, or whatever she was. Huntress, wasn't it? Huntress, yeah. Infiltrators are a different unit. Not that that makes that much difference. I really wish I could turn the alarm off in this one. That is kind of desirable. Fire, blizzard, spark, aqua, holy Fang, please. Fang, don't die. We need you. All is forgiven if you don't die. Go! Trash that guy. And now down to Bully. Should really remember. It's weird. You can just push the op button at the top to go straight down to the bottom, but I for some reason, I remember that being a thing the last time I played this game. It's like, just please, it's so obvious that is a thing and so needed, and yet just somehow I just can't seem to bring myself to do it. Like there, not so bad. I remember to sort of roll it round, but it's, oh god, it's a nightmare when you know you should really do it one way that's more efficient, but your brain just goes, I'll just do it this way, shall I? And it's the least efficient method in the available to you. It's very frustrating, but there you go. That's what happens when you have barely any brain power. I had a feeling that wasn't going to work the way I wanted it to. Should have tried to aim for the bottom guy. I'd hoped, as is so often the way, I just sort of went in with the hope, desperate hope, the desperate longing that I was going to get away with my shenanigans. Unfortunately, it is so often the way. Whenever I'd like to get away with something, no. The world says no. You have to do it properly or you're going to get caught out. Come on, Hope. I need you to heal faster. As fast can possibly be. Relentless assault, please. Take down. Are we still after? Yes, we're still after the little fella. Just keep slicing away at your little fella. Right, at this point, I think diversity might be a better choice at this point. I realise it's not actually doing anything to the buffs, but I am slightly concerned by the yellowing health bars we have. I think we can probably get away with Bully now. See, again, vastly more efficient would have been op, but even worse if you start on the second paradigm, because my brain just insists on going down rather than actually sort of doing it the way you'd expect a person to do it, which is the shortest route. Right, now you're there, let's get back to diversity, as we hopefully, especially now she's slowed, it'll be even easier, and I think now she's staggered, even easier on top of the even easier it was even easier ago. There we go, marvellous. Doubt it's a 5-star, but it still wasn't too bad. Yeah, 4 stars. Which I suppose is the definition, isn't it, really? It's a 5-star. I don't think it's a 5-star, but it wasn't so bad. Is the definition of a 4-star performance. Right, do I want to... I think just carry on. I've already sort of fought about maybe 2... Yeah, I think 2 battles more than was entirely required, so... I think we can just... Oh, the lifesaver! I called it the lifesaver by accident. But yeah, I believe this is essentially... Yeah, oh, improved raise! Not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting. But several things. A, I don't have raise with lightning at the moment, I don't think. That's the medic's magic skill to bring them back from the dead. And B, lightning doesn't tend to be a medic all that often. I will give it one battle. I will give it one battle. Although I might regret that decision. But yeah. I'll give it one battle just to look at its visual. See what it looks like. Hopefully we can... It's actually quite ugly, isn't it? I'm very glad. That's a double whammy on the make a decision scale, isn't it, really? It's got a useless ability and is absolutely fucking ugly. Beyond comparison. Oh, here we go. We're disconnected again. Fucking spectacular. I suppose I'm going to have to look into this problem, aren't I? Because there's no reason. Yay. Yay for no reason disconnecting. That's good, yes. I don't know why I fucking bother. Yeah, it's not dropping frames, so it can't be that. But yeah, it seems it is just... I'm looking it up if you were wondering. It doesn't really matter, but... Yeah, I don't know why that's just... Oh, here we go. I think it might be back. Yes, it is in fact back. But, yeah, I just, like... Why... Okay, I suppose I could try that. But yeah, there's just no reason... Good. Anyway, we're back in the game. Kill the infiltrators. That's what we were trying to do, and it's what we're going to be doing again. Whoosh. Right, we can probably get back to Relentless Assault for a little bit. Although, having said that, we are now on to Huntresses. That's bad and inconvenient. So, Fang, if you could... ultimately, we've got to go with Fang. Don't die, please. Which means we've kind of got to get away from the bullying for now. Now we've got to go to the bully. In 1, the Psychom Huntress. In 2, Diversity. In 3, Thundara. In 4, Fire Spell. In 5, Relentless Assault. In 6, Aqua Strike. Bully. And you may be wondering, why couldn't you hear the in 7? Because it went so high, only dogs could. That's right. Everybody, I went so high that a dog could hear me. That's right, I've been on plenty of drugs, so many that the dog can hear me now. Oh yes. I must admit, I bet
was just getting started.
I added a fucking setting, didn't I? I added one pissing setting, and I wonder if that's why it keeps going. I'm not connected. As I say, it's not. For once in its life, it appears to not be the internet at fault, which is like weird. Because what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? I do not understand why the internet is secure and oh, that's a treasure chest that we've already been to. Oh, it's little legs. Oh, I don't know about the colour scheme. It's not terrible. It's not great. But yeah, little pink legs now. Oh, little tiny pink legs. Oh, I got little tiny pink legs. Oh, I like my little tiny pink legs. Oh, I'm going to do a little batsy. What was that? I don't know. That is a Viking. Ooh. It's the pinkest Viking I've ever seen. A very pinky blue Viking. Never have I ever seen a Viking wearing pink and blue. Partially because I think blue, not so much, but pink. Pink, I don't know. Like, I don't think they had much pink, did they? Probably because it was difficult to get it to dye. I don't know what you'd use. Like, I know red was like beetles, wasn't it, at some stage. Blue, I have no idea. I feel like I did know at some point. Probably like in some kind of game they used it, because a lot of the sort of old medieval fantasy sort of ones tend to just use real world bits and bobs to allow you to dye things, but I don't know how I got on that topic, I suppose. I don't know, I mean technically I could look it up I suppose if I really wanted to. I don't, but technically I could. That is an option, oh yes indeed. Oh my, oh me, oh my, oh mo, oh me. Where is Mo? I don't know. Who is Mo? I equally don't know who Mo is. Literally, I don't think I know anybody called Mo. That sounded oddly sort of lamentful there, didn't it? I don't think I know anyone called Mo.
Nothing I can't handle.
I don't really need to or want to. It's just like one of those things. There's plenty of names I could list a fuck ton of names that are people I don't know. I don't actually know a Frank. Or at least I don't think I do. Suddenly there'll be a Frank in the distance going, he doesn't know me. But then again, I don't think Frank. I don't think if I can't remember a man called Frank that I know, chances are that a man called Frank that I know is not watching the stream. So he'd never know. He'd never know that I claimed I never knew him. But yeah, I don't think I know a Frank. I don't know a Josephine. How going to be the next two? Just quickly, give us a bit of a heads up. Is that going to be the next 2 hours? You listing people's names who you don't know. I mean, it might be. I did once know an Elizabeth, but I have never known a Betty, a natural Betty. Obviously, technically, Elizabeth can be shortened to Beth, which could be technically elongated, but nonetheless, sort of. Oh, I should be bullying. I should be bullying them. You smell. Your legs are thin and exposed. What I really could do with is getting rid of whatever the fuck lightning has as an ailment. Unfortunately, oh, well, here we go, it's going away naturally. I was going to say, unfortunately, the boy seems to be wholly incapable of removing it, which is unusual, because Asuna seems to be the be-all and end-all for most of these things, and I do happen to have Asuna on. Right, ideally, one more dispel from you, good girl, and diversity, because someone is dying. It is slightly beneficial that the old screen does go red when someone is dying. Arguably, I don't know, it's an interesting one, I suppose. Let's discuss it. Why don't we discuss it? Yeah, okay, let's begin the discussion. I've never known, actually, I can't think of any more names. No, that's not the discussion. That's the wrong discussion. I know, I was attempting to make it into a joke, but then failed miserably because I couldn't think of any other names. And I didn't want to use, like, Lightning, Hope, or Fang, because they're not really sort of names you would expect to see on a place. Oh, you bitch! How dare you put all your buffs back on at the exact moment I'm trying to take them off? Utter bullshit. Good afternoon, Boogie Bum. How be you? Why'd you have to ask it in a weird way? I don't know. Can you ask it in a sensible way? Yes. How are you? Did you have to do it? Did you have to do it quite so high? No. Can you just like use your regular normal voice? You know, like your regular indoor normal voice, and ask in a regular normal indoor sort of way. Oh, yeah, I'll give it a go. How are you? No. Apparently, no, I can't. No, I can't. The moment I'm sort of sat here doing a streamy, apparently my voice goes all over the place and weird. How are you? 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 I'm glad to hear you've recovered from the hangover. That's good. It's always good to be recovering from. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't drink that much, so I rarely if ever have a hangover. But no, it is better to not be hungover than hungover. I think everybody can probably agree on that front. But yes, you join us. We are carrying on with Final Fantasy XIII. We are inside, I believe it was the Palamecia. Yes. We are rescuing Zaz and Vanille, who got captured by the beauty with the long hair, the glasses, and the whip. She's got very clever. It's a very weird thing. I suppose, again, it's like, I don't know. I suppose it gives her a bit of extra character in there. The sort of the idea that she's so knowledgeable about the human anatomy that she can do a quick little whip to the neck and immediately sort of paralyze a man and sort of knock him out more than paralysis, I think. Knock him out. But then it also does sort of make you kind of wonder, did they do that just because they couldn't really figure out an alternate way of animating it? Because it was basically for the shock moment of Zaz has shot himself and has been carried out in a, I was going to say a corpse-mobile, but ultimately a corpse-mobile is sort of just a coffin, isn't it, really? And a more traditional way of putting it is he was carried out in a coffin. But it did provide, last week, the tail end of last week, the big cliffhanger was the Zaz. I've had it with all of this. I'm going to shoot myself in the head. And then it goes to black. and then suddenly they're wheeling him out in what looks like a floating coffin. But today we have had it revealed quite happily that the old Zaz did not shoot himself in the head. He stopped himself and shot the throne instead. I mean, to a certain extent, you'd think you'd just not pull the trigger, but then again, I've never tried, so thankfully, I suppose I would have had a thankfully. Thankfully never tried, so I don't know. Maybe it really is sort of like a last minute, oh shit, last minute heals, please. Or a last minute shit, one of the two. We're going out this afternoon, have you been for a shit? No. Look, we're leaving in 1 minute. Oh, have a shit. It's my last minute shit. Right, I need to change the lifesaver, because as specified, it's ugly and useless. So, I believe it was the Axis Blade we were using. Yeah, ATB charge, yes. I don't know if that's that useful, truth be told. I've not seen it do as much as I want to have seen it do. So I'll try and give it a bit more of an assessment, this battle. Oh, there you go. Confirmation we are on the Palamecia. But yes, it sounds like plenty of people have hangovers today. Because I think it sounds distinctly like it's kind of... It's Easter. The restrictions have been lifted slightly. Everybody out drinking! In gardens. Only in gardens, mind you. Only in gardens. You have to hoof it over the fences, because you can't actually enter a person's house. You have to just get into the garden by any means necessary. I'm sure that's not quite the way it is, but yeah, it seems like Good Friday was Good Friday, which is fair enough. I'm not critiquing the choices. But, it's amusing. Suddenly you get this wave of like, oh god, I'm so hungover. It's like, oh, I bet you are. And everybody else is as well. Pow pow. Nicely sliced. Slice and nice. The only slight issue with this saber is the fact that it's yellow, and it's not the yellow that's the issue, it's the sort of because it's yellow, it doesn't quite go with the outfit. That basic saber that she uses, which I can't remember what it was called. Oh no, I can look it up. You just sat in the house, drank 2 bottles of rosé wine. Oh, very nice. Equipment, there we go. What was her original blade called? The Edged Carbine? Yeah, I think it was the Edged Carbine. Ops are magic there, but I do lose the ATB gubbins. And the Gladius is just plain old better, but we've decided... Because the Gladius is a lot more bladey, but yeah, that's the Edged Carbine, isn't it? And it's nice because it has this reflection of the cape colour, which makes it quite pleasant. Whereas the yellow of the... Oh, hello. Oh, did you seriously catch me last second? Oh, what a... How dare you? How very, very dare you? You definitely did not catch me on that last split second. But I must admit, I haven't really drunk much rosé. I've never really tried it. More of a cider drinker. I am a cider drinker. And fruity cider at that. The old cloudy horse piss that you get from rural areas. Not a huge fan of. I quite like it, and it's not. I was a little bit harsh there, calling it horse piss, but it's not too bad. But it's got that sort of roughness. That's it, isn't it? Rough cider. That doesn't sit well on the tongue. So I much prefer the old fruity ciders, the old Recorderligs. In fairness, it's not actually got cider in it, but I do have a Copperberg cup, or glass, I suppose, technically, sat next to me. I quite like it because I've used it so much that it's supposed to say, God, I've been waiting for my opportunity for this anecdote, and you'll see why I don't do stories from real life when you understand this, because it's I'm selling it like it's going to be something exciting, and I'm going to reveal it and it's going to be like, yep, that's kind of what happens. Well done. That was a shit scenario, wasn't it? Fucking hell. But yes, I've used the cup so much now that I've managed to rub the S off. Well, that sounds filthy, doesn't it? It's quite the euphemism. I spent the morning rubbing the S off. No. What it's supposed to say is at the top it says Premium Cider Kopparberg, and then at the bottom it says it's supposed to say Genuine Swedish Cider, and what it actually says now is Premium Cider Kopparberg, Genuine Swedish Cider, because the S. It's weird because only the S, but the S has completely gone. I can only assume that's. I mean, it's weird though because that's not where my hand sits. Because it's like right at the bottom of the cup, and the cup is sort of, you know, curved inwards. I told you the story was shit, but you know, I'm now describing a glass to you. It's a drinking implement. You put drink in, and then you tilt it at the mouth. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They are a bit of an oddity, bit of a rarity in the world. I don't know of any other people who use these things called glasses. Not to be mistaken by the eye covering, of course. Not many people have heard of that, but no. As I say, it just amuses me the fact that it now says Genuine Swedish Cider, and that the S is the only letter that's disappeared, and yet there's no obvious reason why it's the only letter that's vanished. Anyway, I'm gonna have a bit of my squash that currently resides in a Genuine Swedish Cider cup. Stop curing people. God, don't you just hate, don't you just absolutely loathe an enemy, or an enemy. It's because I wasn't sure which word I was going for. I was tempted to say a foe, which would have worked. But then I changed my mind and went straight for enemy instead, and that spoilt the use of the A or the an. Bugger. Yeah, don't you just hate them when they've got cure available to them? This is going to be a nasty fight. I'm not entirely sure who I should focus on first, because usually I would focus on the lesser enemy, and the lesser enemy is probably the huntresses, but they are pretty tough going, so we'll try it. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll lose, they'll kick me back a few seconds and I'll start the battle again. Which is genuinely surprisingly kind of philosophical, I don't know, probably not quite the right word there, but surprisingly sort of reasonable response from me. I don't tend to like repeating things, but luckily this game doesn't enforce you to repeat shed loads of stuff. I suppose that's probably one of the crucial reasons why I get on with Final Fantasy XIII, because oh god damn it, I flexed that finger again. But yeah, it doesn't enforce this notion of, well, you've lost this battle, now you've got to go back and do 600 more. It just goes, well, you lost the battle. Do you want to have another go? Do you just want to have a quick go back in there? Are you confident you could have won if you'd done a couple of bits different? Yeah, I am actually. So thank you. I will take you up on that offer. I will pop out and just have a quick go. It's a very pleasant way of doing things. Very pleasant indeed. No pressure. You fuck it up, you just have another go. Never mind, these things happen. Have another go. Instead of some games, naming no names Dark Souls. Because let's be honest, it rhymes with arseholes. Which is what the game is. I don't like Dark Souls. It's crucial. Well, I say that. It's not quite as cut and dry as that. I like the idea of Dark Souls, I just don't like the whole going back and repeat wide segments again. And I know people say the whole, that's just the gameplay, you just got to accept it and get, embrace the death thing. But it's still very much a sort of, you are going through a game, then you die, and then you're going through the entire segment again. And so it's why I find Final Fantasy, just this one especially. You'd have thought coming from my background of Japanese RPGs for most of my sort of childhood, you'd have thought I'd have been okay with repeating huge swathes of things, but because of the whole save points thing way back when it was you save it here, you make it across the entire field that's taken you about 45 minutes, you lose the final battle, and then you realise you haven't had a save point in that entire 45-minute segment, and lo and behold you've got to do the entire thing again. But you see, I suppose arguably the key difference there is when that happens, when you've sat playing a game for 45 minutes and you die and you have to then do that whole 45 minutes again, that's the point where you go, this game can fuck off for today, which is usually what happens for me. Whenever that happens, it's very much like even games I really like happened to Persona Just rewind on that one. Improved debilitation. That's not terrible, but the spear really, you lose a lot of stat on that. A lot of stat. Slightly boost the success rate. To be honest, I don't use Saboteur enough to make that worthwhile. It's just fact. So no, I think Bladed Lance. If memory serves, I think she stuck with the Bladed Lance almost the entire game for me last time, because it really is kind of just it's a good stuff, especially if you can upgrade each of these things. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it happened in Persona 5. I was playing happily along, and then the enemy just happened to sort of get the better of me, and lo and behold, it was like a good sort of half hour to an hour's worth of progress just gone. And it was very much a sort of, as much as I love Persona 5, I do love Persona 5. Well done, that chocobo chick. Well done. I was going to say, get that tentacle away from Vanille. We know what you do with tentacles, Japan. We don't want any of that. Thank you very much.
All right, time to split. Not run. There's a difference.
I mean, there's very much a difference, but I don't think Vanille doing the splits at this occasion is going to help us escape. Anyway, yeah. More tentacles? No. Less tentacles, if anything. Oh, good. We just happen to have our guns and equipment. Marvellous. Yes. Stop being a negative Nancy. Anyway, Persona 5, lost sort of half hour to an hour, and I, despite the fact that I love that game, it was still very much a
scares me so much.
No more of you today. Your turn to fuck off. So yeah, I don't do well with repeating things, and I know there's an irony in that. The fact that most of this whole streaming malarkey is me saying exactly the same thing day in and day out. So I've realised there's a beautiful. I mean, the entirety of my life is a beautiful contradiction. I've often thought. I don't know. Probably weird to think. Just it's the end of the sentence. It's probably just weird to think, right? Yes, it is. But I've on occasion thought, if I had to choose a word to summarise my entire core and existence, it would probably be contradiction. Try not to think. I know that is sagely advice. I think that is sagely advice. It's just sometimes troublesome. More trouble than it's worth. Oh, that's a lot of Crystarium points, isn't it? No, nobody just tickled my balls. I was excited over the volume of crystal points I had. Ravage. No, Commando. It's time for a little Commando. Because it's kind of what that has to do at this point. Oh, we completed it. No. Why are you being a... There we go. Usually when you push X, it defaults back to wherever the next step of the idea is. But yeah, it didn't seem to want to do it there. But we have completed that, so we might as well default back to Ravaja. It is the Marja and the Ravaja. It's a weird reference to... I don't think I could have possibly made it any clearer than that. Medic time for you. Should be able to get to the end of this. Roll level. Yes, my rolls are level. I made certain of it. Puts another 50 pence in. Yes. It was a little bit, wasn't it? Ravaja. It was referencing... I don't know. Gold member. Austin Powers, there we go. Couldn't for the life of me remember the bloody character name. Despite it being the film's name as well. Ridiculous sometimes how my brain does not function. It's very easy to go, it's ridiculous how my brain works, but unfortunately it's a fairly safe assessment that it's more a case of it's ridiculous sometimes how my brain doesn't work. It does not have any functionality. Right, since we've been fiddling with our Crystarium points, we might as well pop in here and do that. And then let's go... Oh, it's more slimes. Or flans, technically. Are we going to get a cheeky little back attack? Yes, we are. Can't remember what these are. Oh, Flanators we need to deal with immediately. I don't know. Oh, it's a Flanborg. I suppose as in sort of a cyborg, but with flans. Flanborg. Right, unfortunately we do have to go after the Flanator first, because they heal. They do their sort of emergency alert siren thing. It's very annoying noise, truth be told. We were discussing it at the tail end of... It couldn't have been last week's episode, it must have been the... I say episode, they're not really episodes, are they really? But bloke talks shit for 3 hours is not really class. Oh, hey, there's that gun I told you about. Look carefully when we do it here. Now, last week I was discussing this. He does gun, two gun, and then it flares into a... It's a shame we're kind of looking at the wrong side, really, but nonetheless, what it does is it flares out into this weird transforming arm thing, and it kind of then pins the two guns together and creates a rifle. It's very peculiar, but kind of awesome. And yes, they are flans. They are not flans of that, but they are flans. Anyway, yeah, Flanators. Fun name, annoying creature. They heal, and yeah, it was a couple of weeks back. We were discussing the fact that it was. Oh, I think I need to get a little bit further back. There we go. The more moving parts, the more likely that gun is to fail. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no... It's so silly. It's so silly. Might actually get the right sort of... No, because unfortunately he does like to turn around. No, okay. Sort of saw it. But yeah, it's very quick. I wouldn't say no. Maybe I suppose the footage might exist somewhere. But it would be quite... Oh, here we go. We might get a little bit better... At least a better look at the rifle in the end. But yeah, it would be quite interesting perhaps to be able to access... I mean, you'd want to access the full animation file of the gun, I think, really, because there's no way in-game, there's no way you're going to catch it well enough, I don't think. But slow it down and see how all the moving parts work. Anyway, the tail of the Flanator... I didn't recognise the beast at first. I didn't recognise it. And then it made its Flanator noise, the woo type rescue noise. And it was amazing. I know memory is based on sort of smell, noise, all that. But it was like this sudden wave of like, fucking, I remember them. Oh, they're horrendous. I do not like them. I do not like them at all. But I can't deny, in this battle, they're not quite... If they turn up just one per battle, they're not too bad. Because, of course, you can just target them first. And it's like, yep, cool, that's that done. Whereas if they turn up in a pair, then you've got problems, because they will start healing each other. Invade the Flan home world. A peaceful species, if a bit ugly. Indeed. They are... I mean, they are spectacular models in terms of, you know, purely looking at the whole sort of 3D modelling side of things. They are quite beautiful to behold. Ah, shite. I thought I could get away with that, but I couldn't. No, I couldn't at all. Flanators, first place. Blitz might not be your best idea, Saz, but I mean, if it works, it works. It will distract the Flanator at the very least. Although, having said that, if it punches him in the face, that's going to be. There we go. There we go. Piece of piss. As I say, dealing with one Flanator is absolute simples as you like. Dealing with two is holy moly! I've just realised I need to adjust my bucket.
Ducks finally run out.
I needed to swap earlier. Poopy bums. Yes, of course I'm gonna retry. Right, okay, let's go into the menu and deal with these paradigms. Not that I necessarily disagree with all of the choices here, but we'll have a Ravager and a Medic, might as well. I expect there's not a huge amount of options. I suppose maybe Synergist and Ravager. Truth be told, the top two are going to be your key ones. Note I didn't use the phrase bread and butter, since as I keep using the phrase bread and butter to describe this, but it's your sausage and egg. They go together, don't they? And then Tide Turner is quite useful as well on occasions. I must admit, no, I think having a second option for Medic. Yeah, no, I'm fine with those. Anyway, let's try. Hopefully this time I might be able to get back attack, possibly. You do have to time it perfectly. All three of them really have to be facing the opposite direction, ideally, which might come into play. No, okay, no, not quite. Hang on, wait for it. Oopsie doodles! I angered the beasts. I angered the flans. They are now flangry. Oh, yeah. Oh, you bastards got me. I acted, and they just caught me. They just caught me as I was heading in. This little bugger turned around. And I suppose arguably, in the Flans case, they are actually quite large buggers. Because they're green and slimy. It's jokes. Jokey jokes. Blokey jokes. Jokey blokes. Invokes are jokes from the blokes. That's the Mage of Comedy. I am the Mage of Comedy. I'm going to use an invocation spell. It's funny jokes, you know. If I tell you they're funny jokes, it allows you to know that you're supposed to be laughing at that point, and that gives you the cue. It's easier than you having to work it out for yourself, I find. I'm rolling that one. How dare you? How dare you? My invocations are spectacular. That's the key thing you don't know. I'm a special, because I'm the joke mage. My stats are backwards, and so are my dice rolls. So a nat 1 is a critical joke. Critical invocation. That's how the character class works. It's all backwards and weird. And it basically is the perfect class for me, because it's pretty much I make up the rules and as I go, and that suits me down to the ground. Just whatever the DM says, I make up a new rule that the character class has. So what's that doing? Increase both physical and magical resistance. That's not terrible. I'll tell you what, let's upgrade your doctor's code to a royal armlet. I think that makes a degree of sense. You need to speak to my DM. Yes you do. Which way are we going? I don't think it matters. I think we're going either or. Although having said that, I don't think there's a switch this side? Question mark? Oh, that's just a wall. It was only ever supposed to be a wall. That's fair enough. I thought that was supposed to be a door. Okay, can we get a cheeky... Maybe? I didn't see warning? Because there was no warning. That's right. Now, let's focus down one of those Flanators. This is where we have problems, because 2 Flanators... I think I'm going to get away with it. Because I think what's going to happen is I'm... Oh, no, he is rescuing him. Yeah, here we go. Whenever you have 2 Flanators, you have a slow slog on your hands. Because, unfortunately, what do Flanators do? They heal! And especially if you're trying to kill 2 Flanators and they are just going, I'm going to heal you, Flanator number 1. Oh, really? Oh, shit. I've misjudged the situation again. Because I'm trying to go off on one about Flanators. Hey, I'm Flanator 1. You're injured. I'll heal you. Thank you. You look injured as well. I'll heal you. Oh, marvellous. That's spectacular news. I think I'll do a little bit more healing on you. No, I'm going to heal you. No. I'll heal you more. Oh, no, I'm healing you first. You can just get locked in a Flanator loop. And you do not want that. It's bad times. Bad times being stuck in the Flanator loop. The Flanator loop. I don't want to know what a Flanator loop is. You'll be swirling down the flanitation pipes for the Flanator loop. I don't really think I need to go this way, but I have. Fairly certain that's where I came from, so let's go out here. And oh, there's a treasure chest in front of the door. That seems like a peculiar place. 12 vials of murky ooze. Just what I wanted for Christmas, yeah. I have strange needs. Oh, they've gone up. Well, I mean, they're going all over the place with the colours, aren't they? It's ridiculous.
The only ones cleaning house.
Silly colour system in this ship.
Come on, let's hurry.
Let's go get rescued.
That's a fantastic line.
No, not this time. For once in my life, I am going to save her.
All right, now you're talking. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go save Fang, despite the fact that Fang don't need saving. We're going to do it anyway, because it makes you feel good inside. Oh, here we go. Oh, code purple. I think the guy on the radio is just having a bit of a laugh, isn't he?
Means we're doing our job.
Nobody knows, Hope. Nobody knows what it means. I think the guy on the radio is just making it up. He's got a brand new RGB system from Razer. I think they're famous for their RGB systems, aren't they? He's got a brand new RGB system from Razer, and he's just having a go with it. He's on his phone going, "Hoo-hoo! Look, I can do green. If I move it down like that, I can do green. Look, all the lights are green. It's a code green. It's a code green." What else has it got? Oh, look, if I move... Oh, look, I've moved it over here. It's gone purple now. Code purple. Oh, look at that. Code orange. Oh, code heliotrope. Heliotrope's the shade of pink, if you were unaware. I only know that from Hancock's Half Hour. I like using it as a random colour because it makes me feel smug. Because not... Oh, you little shitey ball bag. If you've got a shitey ball bag, you've got... I mean, an excessively low-slung ball bag, I think is the key point. Vespids, yeah, I had a feeling I haven't scanned them, so first thing we want to do is a Libra. Did we do our Libra? Yes, we did. Fire and lightning. That makes sense. Bugs are often weak to fire, and flyers are often weak to lightning. So the fact that a flying bug is weak to both fire and lightning is quite satisfying. I must admit, it's I like it when they have these sort of overarching from like just a general sense of fantasy, I suppose. This idea of, yes, all bugs are weak to fire, all flyers are weak to lightning. This is in this game, that game, and the other game. Now, is that just this one dude, or is that including the big fella? Okay, so that's quite good that it's including the biv clerk, because what we want to do, although I might fuck it up by Libering first. Nope, we're okay, because in fairness we do have the others to take care of it, but yeah, we should be able to just at least kill off a fairly substantial amount of health. Do-do. Do-do-do-do. I think we need a little bit of diversity in this house. Relentless assault once more. And while it's not got its shell on, it's probably worthwhile focusing it down. Although it might be interesting. Might be worthwhile doing a little bit of bullying for now. In the hopes. Okay, no, that didn't work. So at this point, diversity, because someone is dying. I'm not sure who. Hope is dying. Well, Hope, physician, doctor thyself. Let's take down the raiders for now, since we've lost. Oh dear, no, alright, no. Yeah. None of the decisions I'm making I like right now, so that's fun. Fun facts for all. That's right. The funnest of fun facts. T'Pau, right. T'Pau? They were a band, weren't they? I don't know why I suddenly channeled T'Pau. But, it wasn't actually supposed to be T'Pau. The T came out of nowhere. Not entirely sure where the T came from. I suppose it's the British way, isn't it? Just to add T to anything. T'Pau. Here, going down T'Pau. Yes. Anyway, it was just supposed to be like, oh look, I hit him, pow, and delight and revelation. Right, now we're on to the big fella. Hopefully we can sort of... Photon burst could be problematic. I mean, there's not a lot I can do to stop it, so basically I'll just have to undo what it does to me, which basically means medic. Could have possibly tried to sentinel it out, but I think it went after Fang anyway, so it wouldn't really make much difference. Here we go, close, but not quite there this time. Oh, he's shaking like a shitting dog there. I don't know precisely what that was. I don't know why. Oh, okay. That makes me think the bloody stream's gone off, but no, it seems to have held on. But yeah, had quite the emphatic heart attack momentarily there. I do hope it's not going to crash. That would be very inconvenient. Never mind. Oh, never mind. I probably want to wrap round the other side, but first things first, we might as well check in on this area here. Nice little treasure chest. I say treasure chest, it's a treasure sphere. They're quite nice. I think we assessed them in the very first session, first sesh. But yeah, I kind of like them. They're a bit weird, a bit unusual, but to a certain extent, unusual is quite nice. I'm now just looking how I would model that, and I think you'd probably start with the sphere in the middle, which is a fairly simple. It's a sphere. And then you'd probably copy that sphere, and then probably thickness. I suppose. Oh, yeah. What you do is copy the sphere, then cut out the bit that you're trying to reveal, and then add a thickness modifier. This is in Blender specifically. I've been doing Blender recently, so. But yeah, if you added the thickness modifier, you'd then be able to get. By Jove, they're simple folk over at where you do 3D modelling. Thickness, it adds thickness. I think everybody would have gathered that one. But yeah, quite a simple. It would actually be a relatively simple job, but quite nice. Although there is slightly more intricacy to it than just a sphere. You can see there's sort of the centre is pinched in. So it's nice. It's nice. I like it. White cape. What does a white cape do? It's a white cape. Resists fog. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what fog does in this game. I don't know. I might be able to look it up. Data log. Is there actual sort of people, cocoon, enemy intel? No. Ah, battle primers. That might be the one. Status ailments. I mean, that would certainly make a degree of sense. Can we see what they are? Debuffing, debilitating, debuffing. Fog prevents spell casting. I see. And removed by a mallet. My God, I don't remember ever having used a mallet in this game, which is... It's also slightly weird because mallets are usually confusion, but I suppose they don't have confusion in this game. But still, was your own abilities to fail often. Oh, really? That is a lot worse than I ever gave it credit for. I mean, sorry, just quick question off to the side. Yeah. What is it? How many times you played Final Fantasy XIII? Well, I played it once, but never completed it. And then I played it again, and then completed it that time. And now I'm playing it, so this would be a third time. Just quickly, you've played this game 3 times technically. Technically, yeah. You could say 3 times, yeah. So you played this game 3 times, and you don't seem to know anything about the game. No. That's probably a fair assessment. Yeah. Did you ever really engage with the game on those previous occasions? Well, I mean, I did. As I say, I did complete it. So yeah, I engaged enough to complete the game. Oh, cheeky opportunity knocks. Yes, please. If opportunity knocks, then you must take Vikings from behind. They like it like that. So next time you're in Sweden or any other sort of Nordic country, just make sure you take them from behind. They will appreciate it, and this advice could not possibly get you into trouble. No, that button again, or that finger again, as I say. The button, in fairness, the button's doing exactly what the button should be doing. The button is being when the button is pressed, the button is telling the game to open that screen. And that's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. In terms of doing its job, it's spot on. It's the finger that's the problem. Which I've heard many a person say. I'm telling you, it's the finger that's the problem. Whoa there, Dolly! That seems an awfully large chunk of damage. Really didn't need that much damage in my face. Oh me, oh my. I might have to Sentinel for a little bit just to take the edge off of the healing requirements, because at the moment he's hopes having to sort of triple heal, whereas with Sentinel he'd end up focusing on one person, which can sometimes be beneficial. But I think it's worked its way to neutral. I hope that doesn't... I mean, inevitably it's going to happen again, but what I really need is one of these guys to, like, die now, please. When I said die now, I meant, like, immediately now, not sort of when you next fancy it. When the fancy next takes you. Oh, God, I want a fondant fancy now. Is that really all it takes? You use the word fancy, and your brain immediately went to fondant fancy. Yes, that is basically all it takes. But yeah, I really wouldn't say no to a fondant fancy right now. It's a shame I don't have any fondant fancies around. I know co-op. I think co-op's on the old Deliveroo. I can always Deliveroo! Fondant fancies! No! Send out the fondant fancy signal. And yes, I like fondant fancies enough that I have built an entire lighting rig in the back garden to be able to shine up at night to declare my desperate need for a fondant fancy. Fondant fancy, they are the fanciest form of fondant. Because usually fondant's like fucking pleb. It's the pleb icing, isn't it, really? It's it. It is now, I've said that, yeah. Whoops, there's that button again. There's that finger. It's activating by itself. Holy thermal discharge. Nobody needs a hot discharge. Discharge is a word, isn't it? Really? Oh, whoa, 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 dolly, whoa, dolly, whoa, dolly, whoa, dolly, whoa, whoa, dolly, whoa, dolly, whoa, dolly, whoa. Okay, there we go. Sentinel it out for a little bit. Give hopefully a chance to. I think Fang usually biases the Mediguard, which will not only allow her to heal, but it will allow the boy to focus on healing everybody else. But yeah, that was a closer call than was entirely desired. Tell you what, let's bully it out for a little bit. Get some debuffs on him, get some buffs on me. Bar fire. Yeah, okay, maybe I should have done that in the first place. Especially since there was 3 of them. I suppose it's one of those ones where you just have to make a decision. Essentially, you pretty much have to go. Okay, do I want to try and just defeat one to get it out of my way, or do I want to try and buff myself, taking more damage in the long term? Oh, there's no real right or wrong, especially the right way gets you the victory. And I think, I don't know for absolute certain, it's going to be slow and probably going to be sort of 0 stars, but nonetheless, it is very much going to be a victory. He says tentatively, because you never quite know, he says there is the possibility. Oh yeah, I was going to try and check her ATB. So on attacks, okay, so that gets about maybe a 3rd.
Just like I planned.
I don't know. I'm not. Whoa, that's a 5-starer. I suppose arguably it was considered a very difficult battle, but I'll take it. I'll take 5 stars on that. Right, so that's the correct way. So we want to just carry on looping round, I think, really. What we'll hopefully be able to do is this guy's very slow, so we should be able to. Cheeky little butt. Right, you absolute prick. I still got your back attack though. But the moment I entered his vicinity, away he went trying to turn around. Okay. So again, might not be the best of calls, but we'll go after as much damage as I can on the Thermodon while I've got the stagger available. As it does, the ATB charge does technically get her back in the fight a little bit quicker, but as if I do desperately need. I mean, it's up for grabs really. It's kind of, if a better ability comes along or a weapon that just feels like it's doing a lot more for me. Whoa, hello, Tornado. I don't think we needed your presence. Thank you. You can take them back to the shop where you got them from. I must admit, I think at this, yeah, now he's got the cocoon back on. I think it's probably well worth taking down these Vespids. Vespids even. I genuinely thought there was no in there. Oh, never mind. Makes little to no difference to the situation. Yeah. Oh, let's try and get. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. I use the power of the Y button to stop the cyclone by killing it. Unfortunately, his friend immediately is deciding to do cyclone, but no. I can't defeat every choice they make, can I? Just have to try. Have to try every now and again to get the edge over. I can't. No, where I said the yellow, you know, the yellow doesn't go with the outfit, and I stand by that sentence because it doesn't. But as an overall, if you separate that weapon out from the outfit, it's a nice looking weapon, which helps a lot. I think. I know, strictly speaking, you should probably only ever consider the most efficient and effective weapon in hand, but frankly, sometimes they do have to look good, and sometimes I have put myself, especially games that don't feature games that feature a creator character but don't have a automatically take the helmet off option or render the helmet invisible type option, they annoy me. I've had a couple. It's rare, but it does happen. And I have basically put myself at a disadvantage by not wearing a helmet for the entire game, just for aesthetic style choices alone. And I will do it again. I will do it many a time in the future. Right, we'll carry on pootling round because there is, there is another. Right, so that's where we started. I think the general plan is we'll pootle on round here, try and get the back attack on these lads, although I entered their perimeter slightly more than I was expecting to. I suppose it's because there's a line. I thought their perimeter... Ah, you little fucker. Still got you, though. Still got you. Thought you could turn around, but you couldn't. Thought you'd turn around. Every freaking bear hitting better. I'm going to turn around. And I need a murder, and I need a murder. I do like to give people what they want, and the people want the club style. Of course they do. Who would not want the club style? Oh, I forgot they use Cura because they shouldn't be allowed to. So really, I do have to focus on these infiltrators first. Although I must admit, I did just plough through a Vespid. In fact, I think I ploughed through 2 Vespids, despite their curing. It's not a particularly effective cure. It's just can slow things down a little bit. At the moment, you get the stagger. Even your best cure is not doing enough to deal with that situation. I don't know. Yeah, another stagger. Marvellous. I'm going to get rid of the cure nicely, and then we can focus on that one last Vespid. It shouldn't be too troublesome. That's right. Oh, yes. Ooh, that's a tasty volume of crystal points. You should probably avoid tasting your crystal points, because your crystal points are in fact made of crystal meth, and if you start tasting that, you are going to be in a degree of trouble, and you will actually want that pain dampener if you are going to be downing some crystal meth. First things first, see what it does. Oh, it resists the status element pain, which, not too bad. I mean, it's kind of an interesting idea, because a lot of these status elements are sort of supposed to be blocking sort of X, Y, Z attack, but ultimately I think they don't do as much of a job. As I say, I know I was sort of joking about my whole not paying attention thing previously, but strictly speaking, it's not just a sort of me not paying attention. I don't remember them impacting things that much. They're not as devastating as they perhaps sound, and it's not, I don't know, it's never been that difficult to get rid of them, I don't think. So we'll see. It might suddenly be a case of the high-end battles will suddenly make me go, oh no, I really should be fully focused on evading the elements. That's unfortunate. I kind of wasted that initial stagger. I managed to get the sort of preemptive strike, and I really, because I decided this time I'd try the buffs first technique, kind of wasted that first stagger too much. As much as lightning was chipping away, it was really just chipping away. There was no other, no substantial damage being done there, which potentially put me at a bit more of a disadvantage. But the moment they start discharging that fire, I should have an advantage. But it does look a little bit suspiciously like they're not going to be discharging the fire, which would just be, I mean, it would be typical, wouldn't it, really, frankly? There's another person. I don't know any Lees, I don't think. Frankly, I don't know a Frank or a Lee. That's called a callback. And this is, again, I encourage you to laugh at this point. Open your mouth and go, ho 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 ho. That'll do. It might sound sarcastic, but, you know, desperate times, I require everything I can possibly lay my tears on, I suppose, don't we, on this occasion. I'm just now tapping the button, because I just want the fight basically done and dusted as quickly as possible. It's almost one of those ones where it's like, yeah, the fight's academic, I've won. I'm a winner. I know how to win this battle, so just get on with it. Just do it by yourself. I suppose arguably that's exactly why you've got the auto battle in there. Might be worthwhile throwing a little bit of healing down and then possibly getting that bully going again. Get those bar fires back on. I swear I just did it for the insurance. Wait, that's not what you're supposed to say, is it? I swear I didn't do it for the insurance. The bar fire, because if you set fire to a bar, it's often for insurance purposes. So yeah, it's again, I will just clarify, it's one of those jokes again. I realise I'm often the submarine of jokes. I'm slipping under the radar. That's right, that's another joke. You need to readjust your radar of jokes to manage to actually bypass the submarines instead of silent running. Oh, here comes the thermal discharge. And yes, it was pitiful, sir. Last time your thermal discharge did nasty things to me. This time, did like 3 lots of like 30 damage, I think it was. Which is pathetic. Ultimately, it's a waste of time for you to even bother. I do wonder if there is sort of an internal, it doesn't show it here, but I wonder if there is a purpose. Because thermal discharge sounds like it's using fire attacks and then it's having to go, I've overheated, discharge it. So just because it's a nasty attack, I do wonder if there's supposed to be an element of, you know, there's purpose to it venting the thermal discharge. And that's why it's called thermal discharge, perhaps. Or it was just, we need a fancy attack for it to do, and they went, fuck it, whatever. Stick that in there, I don't know. But you never know. Sometimes the design process can be a little bit more in-depth and detailed than you would necessarily think it is. Because on the surface it doesn't seem like much, but then you realise actually no, this designer's put a lot of thought into these things. Right, so the plan as it stands, don't know any stands either. The stand plan as it stands is we're going to pop to the Crystarium, do a cheeky little Crystarium boost, because that's again a lot of CP. We have just rolling around at the speed of sound. I've got no place to show. And really, I think that's a failing of society if you have no place to shibba, because I think there should be more areas dedicated to shibba, and I think they'd see a drop in crime, because if people are able to go off and do the shibba in dedicated shibba places, I think, you know, the world would be a better place. But you know, that's just me, man. That's just me. I don't think people should be denied the shibba, but they do. They do seem to. Oh, what does Boon do? Extend duration of target's existing status enhancements upon bestowing new ones. Not terrible. Not 100% grand, but I suppose if I'm ever in a sort of synergist list, synergist paradigm that doesn't necessarily need a synergist, although that's unlikely because I don't tend to do that. Focus on commando. Oh, Fang is going commando, which is probably risky because her outfit is quite open. Now, granted, she might not care that she is flashing to passers-by. I cannot guarantee in either direction. I don't know her, personally. My thoughts, I don't want to flash my bits to passers-by on random, you know, at all times, but maybe she does. Maybe she's an exhibitionist or a naturist. I don't think that's ever established. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why. I think Square Enix, they shied away from that. They shied away from declaring whether any of their characters were naturists. But, and nobody could ever know why. Marvellous, that's the Crystarium done. The next part of the plan was to save the game. Save it real good. We'll do a little bit more, but I can't deny, I don't necessarily think I'm going to get out of this room, because I do plan on exploring the central areas. Which means, not only, I think, the outer areas are respawning at this point, but there is several more battles in this inner ring, and then several more battles in the inner ring. There are 3 rings. This is a triple ring situation. Now, how close can I get? I can at least get that close. Hey, guy. You're supposed to be watching out for the intruders, right? Nope. He don't want any of it. He saw the intruders and went, right, you've killed quite a lot of my friends, haven't you? No, I think if I turn around, she's not gonna charge at me, is she? No. They'll just go round, because that would be far more sensible in a stealth mission, instead of killing everybody. Although I've seen the way some people play Hitman, so killing everyone is a viable option. I believe it was Barry. Barry, is it Kramer? I want to say it's Kramer, but I'm not 100% convinced I'm correct on that one. Once upon a time, editor of the Game Grump, if that helps with people's referencing. But nonetheless, Barry, he made one hell of a corpse pile in one of the levels. He just kept bringing him to the corner. Just kept on. Oh, there's a new guy. Kill him. Bring him to the corner. Oh, another one. Kill him. Bring him to the corner. And it's just constantly bringing him to this one corner. And it just built one. I mean, it was magnificent. Frankly, magnificent to behold. I did a similar thing in the game Styx, I believe it's called. The little stealth dwarf. Not dwarf. Goblin. The stealth goblin. I believe his name is Styx, and the game's name is Styx. And what was quite entertaining with doing that was I managed nowhere near the standard you could do with Hitman, but nonetheless I I made my own little corpse pile, which was quite entertaining. Dragging him into the corner, and I can't deny, I usually try and make it look like they're enacting sexual acts. But I'm a child. I can't help myself. If I can make 2 dead men look like they're sucking one another off, I'll make 2 dead men look like they're sucking one another off. And can you imagine if someone's only just tuned in and that's the sentence they tune in on? That'd be a hell of an experience for them, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't think anybody would actually tune in, but that's besides the point. If they did, if miracle of miracles, someone actually went, oh, you know what, I'll have a look at that. It's not as shit as I think it is. But nonetheless, you know, if someone just tunes in to the phrase, if I can make dead men look like they're sucking each other off, I will. It would be quite the sort of instant exposure, really, wouldn't it? You know, if you can sit there and go, oh, that's crazy, then you know your quid's in. You found something you feel is worthwhile viewing. Because it's like that all the time, yeah. Always trying to make dead men suck each other off. Maybe we should probably get away from the topic of dead men sucking each other off, but it's a fun topic, isn't it? Thanks for a bit of a laugh. Nobody stopped me, I mean. Do feel free to write in the chat. Could you stop using the words dead men sucking each other off, please? But luckily, I suppose, arguably, that's the benefit of nobody watching. Nobody can critique you when you start talking about dead men sucking each other off. But maybe you should critique yourself. Maybe sometimes it's not someone else's responsibility to stop you discussing dead men sucking each other off. No, that's fair. Maybe sometimes sometimes the real journey is two dead men sucking each other off. I will stop. I will stop now. I will stop myself. Because nobody else will. And that's unfortunate for us all, isn't it? It is terribly unfortunate that nobody is willing to stop me, for I need stopping. That's it, I made a card that was, you're attacked by your future self. I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something like, you know you need to be stopped, so who better to stop you than you from the future? I'd like to point out it was meant to be a comical card game. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Did try to revamp that, but got bored. Which is the age-old thing. Suddenly realised I couldn't give a shit about it. There we go. That's life, isn't it? Ah, life. Suddenly realised I couldn't give a shit about it. Come on, Viking. You really need to die now. So this is why I'm getting quite so many Crystarian points, because these are extremely chunky beasts. They're throwing at me in sets of 3. I mean, it's taking forever, but I suppose arguably I am reaping the rewards, and that's pleasing enough. Quite pleased to be reaping the rewards of the century. Well, is it a century of rewards? Yes, it is. Not a century of rewards. Oh, not quite. Come on. There you go. Fang for the win. Fanged for killing that guy. Especially because I'm getting 5 stars off of them. So as much as I'm sort of sat there thinking, oh god, this is a tedium, isn't it? I imagine most people, well, I say that, nobody's watching, but anybody watching, I imagine, is probably going, Jesus, it's a tedious battle. But, as I say, it feels and probably looks like it's a tedious battle, but ultimately, turns out, I could have stopped the buffs. Stop the buffs, don't stop the buffs, baby. Stop the buffs, don't tip the buffs over. Unfortunately, you do still have your protection buff, but I think with the stagger, yeah, I think with the stagger I'm actually chipping through it, which is quite nice. The stagger is not doing as much whilst you are staggered. If anything, I don't think that's a thing. I think it's just you do so much more damage whilst they're staggered that the protect is doing very little for them. I don't think it's a literal protect is nullified, because otherwise it would just disappear, I think, wouldn't it? Like that. That was a nullification of protect.
Thanks.
Alright, I think at this point, cheeky little diversity for a quick heal to lightning, and then I think we'll probably get away with just exclusive relentless assault now. Just keep on assaulting. Keep on salting that ass. Salt that ass. But only if you don't have an open wound. Although having said that, I think you are supposed to salt an open wound despite it hurting. I say that, I've never salted an open wound. Thus I don't know if it hurts that much, but throwing salt in the wound I think is a bad thing, but I get the impression it is supposed to also aid the wound. It just hurts like buggery. Kicking the shit out of the terminal. No biggie. Hoping. I think I will. I think it's going to be able to regen that carapace a little bit. It usually does, in fairness, but arguably I am focusing everything at it. But I do think it's going to be very aggravating, because I suspect it's going to regenerate that carapace just shy of me being able to kill the little shit, which is going to be frustrating to say the least. And then maybe I'm going to be able to crack it. I might be able to crack that stagger before it does anything again. Oh no, there's the carapace. But it took so long. I had just the right amount of stagger meter to instantly remove it again, so that's beneficial. Yeah, that wasn't quite so painful as I thought it might have been. Aha, right, so we entered through that way. I'm basically just going around in circles, checking for bits and bobs and defeating enemies. That is the plan. I'm not going to change the plan. A bit of a bugger. I think it would be more sensible not to enter through that one, actually. Let's just back off and do the right thing. I might not be able to get the preemptive attack on it, but at the very least I should try. I mean, come on. Let's deal with that. Treasure chest. Rhodochrosite. I don't know what they do, but oh, well, we are in its area, so if we just sort of... There we go, gently back out. Because I swear, wasn't there a dude? Do you not have a dude friend? Ah, there he is. I can see him on the map. There he is. Or she, actually, I do apologise. It's a dudette friend, I suppose. But yes, I believe there was a friend that was mooching around, and theoretically at least, as I say, frequently they do still screw me over. I'm assuming that's meant to be like an extending baton. Just looks a little bit like she's just wandering around with a scroll, but I think it is intended as a weapon. I must admit the better one. I think the better one is go straight after the Viking. Get straight in there to try and kick his ass. Although I think I may have actually staggered the Huntress as well. Which would be quite useful. What's particularly weird about that weapon is the fact that it's sort of reverse grip, isn't it, really? Because I would have fully expected it looks like it's supposed to be. I think. Oh no, I thought I'd defeated her. It looks like it should be used as a club, but she is sort of holding it very, you know, I'd say holding it backwards essentially. But I suppose arguably that might just be a stance I'm not 100% familiar with when it comes to a club, or they just made it up for the game. I suppose. There's always that possibility. Not everything. When you can build a fantasy world that doesn't necessarily abide by the rules of our world, not everything has to be based on something in reality. So I'm not overly familiar with combat stance mechanics, so it's difficult to know for certain. Slicey dicey. Oh dear, is it? Oh no. It's just the unfortunate thing with the whole area being sort of alerted and red is sometimes if the camera changes to an inopportune position, it winds up being this sort of slightly awkward kind of, oh no, someone's dying in the red, when the simple reality is no one is dying in the red. It is just the camera is focused too heavily on the red of the walls. I know, quality commentary, cutting edge of observations there. What can I say? All I can really do is say what my brain thinks. It's just unfortunate that my brain thinks fuck all most of the time. Slice through he, her even. He, her. We dealt with that, so what we want to do, wrap round here, see if there's a second treasure chest. I don't think there is, truth be told. Oh! He told a lie. What a little, what a little, what a little, what a little asshole. Would you like to buy a ladle from Lidl? Only if it's a small ladle from Lidl. Ah, so you want a little from Lidl. A little ladle from Lidl. Hey, you want a little from Lidl? Sorry, can we have another one of those sidebars, please? Yeah, sure. You know, sometimes when you think of things on your own and you realise they're stupid, you don't have to then sort of bring them onto a stream. You know, maybe just keep them to yourself, because they are, you know, insanity personified, really. You and your fucking small ladles from Lidl. What do you mean? It's meaningless. You're an idiot. Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? Screw it. We'll head to the taking a bit of a chance not going back to the save point, but screw it. I will take that chance. Although I haven't said that, I'm gonna have to go through those guys again. I don't necessarily want to do that, so I think we'll go this side That way I don't have to go through 3 Vikings, however many of the time. We'll just plough through them straight up. I can't be bothered. I know, I'm getting lazy. Lazy, lazy. You cannot be bothered, it's true. I'm half crazy. Half is fucking generous. Yeah, alright, thank you very much. But yeah, I'm sort of slightly battle fatigued against these enemies because I did, you know, I've fought so many of them, wrapping round. As meticulous as it was slightly tiresome to go all the way through there. Let's get a few buffs maybe. I don't think Fang's going to be able to do much to this Thermodon shell, but a bit of luck, a little bit of buffage to me. Oh, she did slow, I suppose. I can't necessarily criticise her too much for having applied slow. That is semi-beneficial. That's right. Oh, I think Photon Burst on the way. We might as well. Well, having said that, with Protect, I don't think Photon Burst is going to be quite so devastating. No, it really wasn't. I was going to stick to the old medic role for a moment because of Photon Burst coming through, but it really didn't do much. Or at least not as much as I thought it was going to do. Right, here we go. We should be able to get some nice damage on it now. Because for some reason, is this a new one? No. Weird. I just don't seem to be damaging it like at all. I suppose it's because you can only really damage these guys when the shell's been broken. And usually, previously, when I've been doing it properly, I've actually faced it and got a preemptive strike and cracked it immediately, which made it feel like I was doing more damage. A bit of luck. I must admit, I'm hoping we can defeat it in this. Oh yeah, we can. There you go, it's defeated. Quicker than the sentence. Now that's interesting. I don't know why I only got 4 stars there. That seems a little bit unfair game. A little bit unfair. But we'll make forward progress rather than popping back to this save point. But I think we will. We'll assess it, but possibly next save point we will call it quits. Call it Quittington. Why would you call it Quittington when you could just call it normal word? I don't know. Whenever you run out of things to say, just, you know. Oh, good God, your coding system is so shit. There you go. You don't know, do you?
The escapees made it through. They're entering the engine room.
All you need is no code. Maybe a code red. Code blue is we think something's amiss. Code red, something's amiss. That's all you need. And if there's no code, everything's fine.
Code white.
See, no, forget code white. What does code white even mean? Arguably, that is kind of the point. I'm not supposed to know what code white is, but. Oh, we're back on Zaz and Vanille.
How is that? What's going on?
What's going on? Your friends are just wrecking shit up. Well, here we are, Zaz and Vanille once again. Oh, and there's that save point, so. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it's a reasonable place to put it away. So, what we'll do is we'll do the Crystarium first, though. There's still gubbins to do before officially putting it away, but nonetheless. The plan is to put it away in the not too distant future. We'll go Synergist, I think. Synergist is kind of his deal, so we'll stick to that one first. Especially if I do actually get a new buff. In Frost, not the worst, but not the best of buffs. Haste, however. Haste is a good one. I'm pleased at getting Haste. Haste, if you're unaware, it speeds us up. The ATB will charge far quicker than ever before. Medic, you have completed. Probably, no, especially accessory. The accessory slot's going to be well worth going after for that. So we'll try and get some more sabotage. Nice few of those. Accessory slot, marvellous. We can add a new accessory to Vanille. Precisely what we want to add as an accessory, I do not know, but that's going to be more of the gubbins before we put it away, I suppose, which is find an accessory for Vanille. So I could go back to the Doctor's Code, but I must admit, I think we'll probably call it quits on using Doctor's Code from this point on, because I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking maybe the White Cape, truth be told, because as much I don't. Like, Fog was supposed to take away magical powers, which makes me think if there's. But there's so many better options than well, maybe an enemy will come along and cast Fog. Maybe an enemy will come along and cast Fog on Vanille. And maybe the enemy will come along, cast Fog on Vanille, and it hit. It's like so many maybes there. So many steps of maybe that I just don't know if it's worthwhile wasting what feels like wasting an equipment slot on a 30% reduction. It's not even complete immunity. It's a 30% reduction to the potential of maybe an enemy coming along with Fog and maybe attacking Vanille with a Fog attack and maybe hitting. All of that maybe is reduced by 30%, making it maybe a maybe. It just feels like it'd be well worth not doing that. Precisely what are you doing? Yeah, increase physical resistance. That could be good. Just to keep her alive a bit. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the black belt. She's a royal black belt. And don't you forget it when you're insulting her. Because she'll kick your ass in a regal fashion. And that's what you want to see. Categorize those, please. Thank you. Accessories, categorize those, please. Thank you. Let's just get them all marked as I know what they are. Components, categorize those as well, please. Get them all marked as I know what they are. Key items, categorize those as well, please. And marvellous. That means my inventory is now clear of exclamation marks, and that's something you always want. I should probably go to do some shopping or upgrades. Tell you what we can do with. Oh, you get this. Do you know what? I've been looking for dismantle. Not finding the sodding thing, but yeah, I'll try and remember. It's on the very first screen. Absolutely obvious beyond comparison, but I don't know why. But last week, for some reason, I couldn't see the blooming thing. In the back of my brain, it was like, I know it exists. I know dismantle, or at least I'm fairly confident dismantle exists, and I just couldn't find it. Anyway, what is he actually equipping? The Procyon. Is that right? I thought they were the shit ones. Oh no, I think the the Deneb. No, maybe the Deneb Duelers are the shit ones. The Procyons, yeah, the Procyons are the ones he's got equipped. So yeah, level 4 healer's staff. I don't think she's ever going to change the healer's staff, apart from upgrading it to a different one. So let's try. I was hoping to get. There we go. That's what we're kind of after. A little bit of a bonus. There we go. A bit more of a bonus. Got a bit more in there. Yeah, that's lovely. And now if we can try and find one of the big chunky ones, we can get a lot more out of it. Oh! Oh wait, I completely misread the number. That's expensive to upgrade this thing. Jesus! Tell you what, we'll do 2 of those perfect conductors, get that up to level 3. And then silicon oil, torn leather, and get another bonus in there. 1.5, there you go. And now silicon oil. Yeah, that'll be alright, won't it? Get that up. Get up a bit more. Perfect conductor. Digital circuits. Yeah, right, stick a digital circuit in there and then go on, stick that in. There you go. Level 5, that was there. Almost like you don't understand the system, isn't it? I mean, it's entirely I don't understand the system. Right, triple save combo. Here we go. 1. Wait for it. And then, yes, we skip over back to... Yeah, that was last week, so yes, we skip back over to that one. And now... Here's the triple. That's the wrong triple. There we go, that one. Get save point 1 back in the appropriate location. Well, there we go. There we go. Said no one ever. Are you sure you want to quit the game? Why, yes. Well, mostly, yes. I mean, I could probably play it for several more hours, but I don't think I want to stream several more hours, and I want some dinner. But in terms of Final Fantasy, my Final Fantasy, finally, I fancy it. I think it's wise to put it away and save a bit for next time. But yes, marvellous. Well, I believe if you require nighttime entertainings, you have the options of Mr. Malus Calibar, who is going to be doing his dwarves. I assume it's still dwarves and deadly rooms of death. And I would assume to a certain extent there is plans for Mr. Blue Boosh to be online as well. I imagine you will be doing bits and bobs and other such delights. I don't know if you actually managed to finish Sabretooth or if you've still got little bits. Don't know the scene in the Never-Ending Story because I've never seen the Never-Ending Story. So, no. But I believe you. I believe you that there is a rock giant that looks down and goes, there used to be good strong hands. And mine used to be stronger. But, anyway, I'm now going to look at... oh, the stream's probably lagging to buggery. And it's a long way to buggery, which means it's probably lagging quite a lot. Which is perhaps inconvenient, because unfortunately when I turned off Final Fantasy, Steam went, oh, it's time for me to download stuff, isn't it? Yeah? Cool. Gonna start downloading. I don't know, my internet might have just managed to keep up. Plus there's not actually a big visual element to be being broadcast, so it might not be doing anything at all. I was just looking at Steam sales. I can't help myself. It's just what I do. When I'm bored, I just look into the Steam sale. If you're interested, Among Us, that's on offer. Only 20% though, and it's cheap in the first place, so you're not getting a huge deal there. Fuser, no idea what that is, but apparently it's on offer. Control, 60% off. That's a pretty good offer. Never played it, but pretty good. Wasteland 3, tempted by that one. Looks weird. I like weird, which is probably explains a lot. But yes, you've either got Malice or Blue Boosh, and I'm assuming you may be doing Sabretooth. I don't know whether I actually got that sentence out. I think I got distracted. But do feel free to state whether you are Sabretoothing or possibly moving on to Wolverining, or maybe something completely different. Maybe you're suddenly going to pull out a, I don't know, Mirror Master. I think that's DC. Shit! God. When I need to pluck a hero type from my brain, I fear I do head towards DC. I was trying to think. Squirrel Girl. I suppose Squirrel Girl's a good Marvel oddity. But still. How dare you? I love DC. DC's fantastic. I like that. I like DC slightly more than I like Marvel. In terms of comics and characters. In terms of films... DC leave a lot to be desired, I fear. Unless it's an animated film. Animated DC films, spot on. Absolutely magnificent. And I will take this opportunity, because I will never not take this opportunity, to suggest the film Batman Ninja. Because Batman Ninja is a trip and a half. I will regale you with my standard tale of watching Batman Ninja. I ordered a Chinese. I consumed the Chinese as I was watching Batman Ninja, and partway through Batman Ninja, I thought, oh fuck, I think this Chinese might be spiked with hallucinogenic drugs, because this is batshit insane. But yeah, I'm glad you've watched it and loved it, because it's insanity. It's insanity. Complete insanity. But in the best possible way. But yes, DC definitely, if you want a good animated film, DC Comics, they've got some fantastic ones. If you want a decent, mostly decent, TV series, I think DC have you covered. Although, having said that, Marvel is strongly coming back in that. You know, a few years back, it was very much DC sort of ruled the roost with very limited Marvel TV, whereas now Marvel have conquered television as well as movie, I fear. But yeah, whereas cinema, specifically cinema, Marvel have definitely got the edge and have just ploughed forward and been a storm of fantasticness. Anyway, let us try and end in a moment or two. I'm rambling and gabbling and nonsensing. It's interesting. It's disappointing, but there you go. Let's see. No, I don't think I'll bother. I think it's literally just me and you, Mr. Boosh. So unless someone wants to sort of pipe up and go, no, I'm here. So I'll leave a raid on this occasion, and I will therefore, just to make sure you're prepped and readied, if anybody is present and wants to follow, you can follow as well. As the little man, he sliced his sword, and then follow, please. I think next up was Discord. Anyway, yes, proceedings. I'm going to say cheerio. I'm then going to end the stream. I'll tell you what we'll do. I will get ready and give you a couple of moments of the interim slideshow. So, well, I say, yeah, a couple of moments. There's an interim slideshow. Oh, who's that? Look. I'd mostly forgotten that was going to pop up. The little list of gubbins and doings. Anyway, here it comes. Cheerio.